Good for them. I'm glad Cleveland lost tonight. I'm so glad. You don't even know. I'm so elated that the Cleveland Cavaliers choked this game. And the reason why I want to say they choked because the ref gave them every opportunity to in the first half. They tried to keep the game close because Golden State was going to blow this team out tonight, and it was in the tone. What Golden State did was spread them out. They boxed out and said, okay, we're not going to get beat in here on the nobody's going to beat us for the the rebounds because we're going to box everybody out. And every time they tried to trap, they made the extra pass. And they had to start trusting each other because the referees, I told you, it was wrath of the refs. They were like, look, we're going to keep this thing close. We ain't going to let nobody get no offense so they could break out and go on some runs. We finna start calling stuff. LeBron had some of the most ridiculous traveling violations in the third quarter that was not even called. Iggy was fouled almost every time he had the ball. So when they start in the second half, they're like, look, we weren't calling it on them. Now we definitely can't give Golden State fouls when Golden State foul. It was like, look, we screwed this team all night. So we can't really do anything about it right now. So what I like the adjustment that was made. Cleveland played to how the fans thought they should play. They said, well, you know what? This is what we need to do. We need to go ahead and start Richard Jefferson. Jefferson is great defensively, but Jefferson needs minutes. He's the type that needs to be in the game for a very long period of time. And Kevin Love coming in, it was like Christmas. Because when Kevin Love came in the game, they knew what they could run with him because he mentally wasn't there, really. He was a little slow. He was a little flat. That game off killed him. He could not get his timing right. He only had like 11 points or something, but his timing was way off. Jefferson was great when he was in there. He gave him a certain energy, but he needs to get going. Every time he gets going, they put him on the bench and put Love in. It's like, huh? That's dumb. Y'all was just getting on a roll here. And misusage of timeouts. They misused timeouts left and right for no reason. It was apparent that the game was getting, out of control. But let them play through the adversity. You let them they called way too many timeouts early. That's Tyronn Lue's fault. He called too many unnecessary timeouts in this game. What they did that was working was taking the big man out of position. They had two men over there boxing out. They were in the post, and they were slashing to the basket for offensive rebounds. If the ball came long, Golden State was outrunning Cleveland. They made Cleveland look like the old buzzards that they are. They made them look really old, and they used their legs. And it's clear to see that last night, the night before last, they were just saving their legs. They were like, look, we just need to get one here, go home, and then we'll close this team out. Cleveland is just not a great ball club. Kyrie Irving, everybody like, Kyrie balled tonight. Kyrie balled Cleveland out of the game is what he did. He played isolation basketball, one-on-one. That's all he did all night long. So if you take the rest of the team out, they're not, and what I mean by that is he scored 30 the other night. Look how they moved the ball. They moved the ball all over the place. So while they're moving the ball here, moving the ball there, in every direction they were moving the ball, they had continuous movement with his 30 points. So when he got 30, the other team got 30. LeBron got like 30 something too. So they were both in a great position. And Steph Curry showed up tonight. The guy had 38 points. He was like 11 for like 18 or something. It was his flow of the game. He got his shots in rhythm. He did something smart early on and said, look, let me attack the basket off the pass, off the double team. They double him. He pass. He go. Get the ball, then make a move. That's what you do. That's how you play basketball. He played basketball today. He listening to my videos, I guess. He's saying, man, this guy know me. I got to show him I could play ball too. He still can't pass worth a damn, but at least he was lessening the mistakes when he was passing. So I do give him credit for that. And LeBron James, you got punked. Everybody thought you was on the take. They was like, LeBron throwing this game. Either you the biggest punk I've ever seen in my life, but it was the Clay and Dre show when it came to dealing with this situation, because Draymond locked that boy down. They locked LeBron James down. LeBron got all this stuff, and, you know, he did all this drama and all this stuff tonight, and everybody was like, oh, man, this is going to be something. This is going to, Floyd Mayweather just said he made $90,000 off this. But everybody was like, oh, this is going to be something tonight. This is going to be a great game. This is going to be outstanding. I thought Cleveland would win tonight because I thought they would come with the same intensity as before, when they really didn't. LeBron came in there, got in the lane, pass. Got in the lane, pass. Got in the lane, pass. It's like, are you going for a triple-double? You trying to win a NBA Finals game. Stats is out the door. You got to try to, it's time to go. The team, I mean, Kyrie needed some help because he's out here doing isolation. He playing one-on-one basketball. Like, yeah, come on, baby. Here we go. And while they doing all this, he doing his one-on-one. Yeah. And I took him. Yeah, I scored. While you scoring 2, they'll go down there, they'll score 3. By the time you get the ball back and it's your turn again to shoot and go isolation and freeze the rest of the team out, they go, the lead ain't changing. It's going up for them. And you're like, well, he's scoring. It's like, yeah, when he gets the ball and when he shoots, then when he's off, they're going down there hitting 3s and he's down here hitting these 2s. LeBron's turning over the ball. He's taking uneducated shots and his temper is starting to get the best of him. He in there throwing bowls as usual. Now he want to try to fight Dre. Trying to get in his head, man. Who you calling to be, man? Yeah, call me another B. Yeah, he's frustrated because he finna fail again in Cleveland. Oh, man, if that happens, I would love to see it. I thought that they would pull this off in 7 games. I said Cleveland should be able to pull this off in 7 games this year. I thought they would try to draw some interest in it, but this team just ain't good enough. It really isn't. It's a terrible team. And everybody's going to say, well, Kevin Love is to blame. He really isn't. It's a terrible team. Kyrie and LeBron, they just don't mesh well together at all. That team has no ball movement whatsoever. They don't know how to. This is why Channing Frye wasn't in the game. Channing Frye cannot guard. He don't know how to guard the double team. He don't know how to pick up the man off the double team. He's losing the only guy you supposed to keep an eye on. Is Curry. That's why Curry had all these open looks tonight. So I said, oh my goodness. This is amazing. He's wide open. Bam, there's a 3. Oh my gosh, he's wide open. Bang, there's another 3. Oh man, he's wide open. Bang, there's another shot. These guys were raining 3s down all night and they were open. The majority of them were open. People were coming to try to close. But it was all off second shots, offensive rebounding, running down loose balls, getting the balls open. The extra pass by Golden State. Only thing Cleveland has to do is look at what Golden State did. It's a mirror reverse of what they should have been doing. Boxing out. Communicating on the court. You at home. You communicated fine 2 days ago when they were letting you run. This game, they weren't letting you run. The refs was like, no, forget that. They gave you every whistle in the second half, in the first half, and you still couldn't break out. This game would have been 20 to 30 point blowout for Golden State have the refs not gotten involved. The refs said, we're not going to give you the calls y'all deserve because you're not finna get this game by 30. We cannot have another 30-point blowout. But it was like 13, 14-point win, so what does that tell you? Iguodala, whatever, cannot be stopped. You can't stop him. He has too much versatility. He could shoot the three. He could put it on the ground. He's very athletic, and he comes off the bench. They're always well rested. They're about 1.5 steps ahead of Cleveland. Cleveland play too many minutes. They only play like 6 guys. Varejao coming in the game is what turned the game around. People are like, what? Varejao's energy coming in the game was wearing Cleveland down, making them work hard on the offensive glass. Look how many offensive rebounds they got once Varejao was in the game. That's when they took the lead for good. When Varejao got in the game, Curry was on the bench. That's when they started to build the lead. And they never looked back. So when Curry came back in the game, Varejao was still in there. These guys who had built the lead, the bench, all they needed was for somebody to sustain it, and that's what they did. He came over and sustained the lead. So it was amazing to see. And good strategy and coaching by Kerr, knowing when to call the timeouts, that's very important. And this is why you got to have an extra timeout for these type of situations where you got guys that you got to call timeout because they can't keep their head. You know, you wasting the timeout because this guy want to argue. It's like, no. We're going to need those timeouts down the road when they down the stretch where we're going to need to. We might have to have an inbounds play where we need to call a timeout. It's very critical. You know, so when it was a 7-point lead and they needed to run a play, they just had to run it because they didn't have a timeout. They had a timeout, they had to save it. You can't go 6-7 minutes without a basket. You know, that's just ridiculous basketball. And they got their hearts taken out of him. LeBron got punked a little because he couldn't get the Draymond head. Draymond didn't play his games, but Draymond still locked him down after that. Getting mad ain't gonna mean you're gonna play better because you mad. Nobody care about you being mad. There's a lot of people mad that you got away with traveling, mad that you getting away with elbows, LeBron. So if anybody should be mad, it should probably be them. But Cleveland, the city of losers, they deserve everything they get. I was just thinking the league will probably give it to them this year since they gave them the 30 for 30. They know they're a city of losers. Let's try to go ahead and give them a victory. And they brought LeBron back for this. He might be out of here, gone next season. And that'd probably be the best thing for y'all. Get rid of him. Get somebody else in there. Let Kyrie beat his team and see what he could do by himself, which it was promised to him before he signed that deal. And they brought him in there like, this your team, Kyrie. And the next week, here come LeBron. They screwed him. So, all I know is when the smoke is cleared, everybody, I mean everybody is going to be talking about the failure of LeBron James in Cleveland if this goes out in 5 games. This is over in 5, which it looks like it's going to be. That's all they're going to talk about. Because I can't see this Cleveland team beating the Golden State Warriors 3 straight times. I just can't. They're too inept. They have to play the perfect game 3 nights in a row. Well, 3 games in a row. And they play too many heavy minutes. You can't continuously play heavy minutes in the finals. Like, oh, LeBron got to play 48 minutes. They got to play 48 minutes. Curry ain't playing 48 minutes. You know, you got Klay Thompson ain't playing 48 minutes or 40 some odd minutes. These guys are resting. They're taking minutes off. They do better when Curry's on the bench. This is the advantage of when you can play 10 to 11 guys where they only playing 6 or 7. More rest, fresher legs, moving down the stream. That's what it's all about. And when they close this series out, everybody's going to look around and look at each other and say, wow, they did it. This was the best they've looked in the finals as a team. And it happened to come on the road. This is the best they've looked. Like Curry was on point when he needed to be. He looked like Steph Curry, the guy that should have been the MVP. Tonight he finally played the game he needed to play. So they could show his wife finally. I'm like, look, they could show his wife tonight. He played ball. So I'm out, and now I don't know if Cleveland. I think they're done. I thought it'd be 2-2, but they're done. To me, I think tonight really broke their backs. So they finna go in there and argue and fight with each other in the locker room about whose fault it is, and enjoy Game 5. It should be over quick.